Welcome forward to now part 6 of this very special vlog feature.
Because he chats too much.
If you look at the past 5 episodes, right, you will see me in the corner like this. You will see me like this. You will see me like this. You will see me like this. Like this.
Oh,
Not one word leave my mouth. Just, yeah, really. With an occasional question thrown in, because I mean I am the interviewer, so I'm supposed to ask questions, but you know, with this guy. Anyway, so we are now more or less in the present, right? You are now the CEO. You are now all that in your kingdom and all you survey, right? In your job as CEO of Back to the Future Music. Now, for people who don't really know the publishing game, I would like you to edify people in the importance of publishing, what publishing means to the business of the music business, irrespective of genre, because publishers are there in reggae music, soul music, R&B, hip-hop, grime, wherever. There's always publishing involved. So please let the people know about the importance of publishing.
okay. The importance of publishing. All right. The way I liken it to is this. No matter what avenue of work you're in, whether you're a carpenter, you're a driver, you're a lawyer, you're a... Did I say doctor already?
No, don't think you did.
Okay. When you work, you should get paid. If you don't work, then you shouldn't get paid. Our problem is that, especially in this day and age, music is something in the ether. So, especially when you don't have to purchase a CD, it's not seen as it's not a physical thing.
Right.
So you can't physically see the fruits of your labor. So we have a situation whereby people don't value music and they don't value entertainment. Like, so I said I'm going to Jamaica next month, and I've had to cut my trip short because my cousin's getting married.
Right.
I thought she was getting married like the end of September somewhere. It turns out she's right at the beginning, so I've had to cut my trip short so I can attend the wedding. But then, out of the blue, she calls me and says, "Oh, can you MC my wedding, please?" And I'm like, "But you could have given me some time and stuff." I say that to say this: as a DJ, when somebody's getting married, again, they pay how much money for the cake. You pay however much money that they ask for the hall. You pay however much money for your dress. When a DJ gives you a price, you're like, boy, that's too much. And to this day, in my 20-something years of existence on this planet, I have never once been to a party, or especially a wedding, and come back and heard people saying, "Yo, that was a wicked party, you know. Did you see her dress? Did you taste the cake? Did you see the hall? And it was the hall that made the party so great." It was the music. But you want to pay DJ next door neighbor rates for Prezedent standard music. So the value that we have for music in all spheres is always, it's non-existent.
Non-existent, yeah.
So to the point where right now we get to a place where you don't have to pay for something that has gone through a mechanical process to own a piece of music. All you own right now is the right to press play. So whether it is that you press play on YouTube or you press play on Spotify, because you subscribe to Spotify so you can play whatever you want, whenever you want, that's all you're paying for, the right to press play. So the music that comes with it, the value of that music, especially as a youngster, you have no sense of that value. When we used to have to go to the record shop on a Friday night and spend the little Sainsbury's money that you were earning from your Saturday job, and you came back with that record, you're in that thing. I'm playing it again and again and again. So till if you're not careful, you start scratching the thing. Then you have to do like, yo, go easy, go easy. But you're getting your money's worth. But because you don't have to, there's no real outlay, there's no value. So anyway, if you work, you must get paid. As a songwriter, now as a publisher, when I talk about a writer, oftentimes people get it twisted because because when we talk about writing, we're talking about writing.
Yeah.
But in musical terms, when we're talking about writing, especially because back in the day, you used to have to write down notes for other people to read.
Yeah.
A composer is also known as a writer. So one of the biggest problems I have when I'm speaking to artists, especially artists, singers especially.
Yeah.
When I'm like, when they say, oh, so I've got this new song and it's coming out next week and it's called Bandana. And I'm like, all right, so what's the splits? Oh, me writing the song. 100% me writing the song. Oh, what about the music? Oh, I feel him ting that. Hold on. So you didn't write, so you don't have 100% of the song. Because what we have to do in publishing is we have an imaginary line which we cut. So split the song in two. So you put 50% for your lyrics and melody, 50% for the musical composition. So if you only wrote the lyrics, you can't have 100% because you didn't have anything to do with the musical composition. If you only made the music and you have nothing to do with the lyrics or the melody, you can't, the most you can have as that musician then is 50% of that finished product. So this is what I have to do on a day-to-day basis. So the importance now comes where there's another thing that people always say to me, which they've heard over the years, that your publishing is like your pension. I say it's not, it can be your pension, but it's the same thing as your salary. What your publishing is another income stream. Where a lot of artists, especially in the past, would fall down is that, especially when they're hot, get all them bookings, you're playing here, you're playing there, you're getting paid to perform live. So that's how you're getting paid. But your live performances are one income stream. You as a songwriter have another income stream. That's what we now term publishing. But then you as a vocalist or a musician have another income stream. That's where we collect, that's called neighbouring rights, where we collect from PPL. And then in reggae, we have another income stream, which Lloyd doesn't partake in, called the dub plates. Shall I leave that conversation there?
Yeah, please.
Okay, fine, I'll leave that there alone.
Okay.
But that's another income stream. So as far as I'm concerned, your publishing is like an income stream. So if we put it into that concept of being a pension, what exactly is a pension? Pension is something that when you're working as a younger person, you pay a little bit aside. So that when you get to, they're trying to move it up to like 70 now. I think it was, last conversation I heard, it was 67, 68. So when you get to them ages and you're of a pensionable age, all of them little bits that you paid are now given back to you for you to live on whilst as a person who can no longer be in the workforce.
Yeah.
That's basically what your pension is. So even with a pension, there are some people who are going to get a state pension. And that's going to be, I don't know how much, say it's going to be £100 a week then.
Right.
But there are some people who were earning a lot of money, so they were putting a lot aside, so they're getting £1,000 a month. Then you've got those big earners who are getting, you know what, leave the pension, man, I have my tea, I'm all right. It's the same thing with publishing and royalties. There are some artists who are getting like £10 or even 10 pence every half year in their royalty statements. There are others who are getting 100, maybe £200 in their royalty statements. There are others who are getting 1,000, maybe 2,000. Then it all depends upon how much airplay you're getting.
Then it gets the Ed Sheeran and Adele money and the Beatles money.
Oh, stop that one. No, that's those ones who forget the pension.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, man, my team, man, allow me. So it can be a pension, but it is an income stream, because what you're getting paid for is the amount of music that you've had played on a commercial entity within a set period of time. So no matter how old you are, so let's say a man like, Max Romeo. Even though Max Romeo is still performing, or better yet, Toots and the Maytals, who I'm going to see this weekend, because a couple of his musicians we look after for their neighbouring rights.
Right.
So Toots and the Maytals, when he had that incident in, was it Seattle? He had an incident in America where somebody in the crowd threw a bottle and he was unable to perform for about a year. So he can't get that live money. But if his publishing is in order, he will still be getting royalty checks, because somebody somewhere around the world is playing 54-46.
This is you. Oh yeah. There's a pound for you. There's a pound for you, Toots. There's a pound for your brethren.
That was the wrong Toots. That was Pressure Drop.
I know, it's Toots and the Maytals, right?
Yeah, but I was talking about 54-46.
54-46, that's my number.
Oh
yeah. No.
And if not that,
Yeah.
they might be playing the Foxy Brown and Spragga Benz version, which samples 54-46.
Or maybe the Aswad version that they done.
No, the Aswad version.
Yeah, let's discount that.
As much as we love Aswad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brinsley. But them time there, no.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so your publishing is an income stream, and it can be a very important income stream. So just as you get paid when you play live, when you're leaving that venue, more often than not, you're not leaving without your pay. But you will write a song and leave without registering your song.
Yeah.
Not registering your song is like playing at a gig and not taking your pay. So there are two sides to publishing. So in England, we have two main societies. That's the PRS, the Performing Rights Society, and the Mechanical Copyright Protection Society, MCPS. Now the MCPS is it's still functioning, but back in the day, that was the more important society, especially from a publishing viewpoint, because when you take your piece of music that you've taken from your desk and it's gone through a machine process, he has to lean over to get a CD, which is it's still wrapped. When it goes through that process, that mechanical process, and it gets turned into something that you can purchase, it's gone through a mechanical process. And so you pay a mechanical license. So every time that stamper goes, the record company has to pay for each time the stamper goes. And what they pay is a percentage of the dealer price on this recording. So back in the day, when you were pressing cassette tapes,
Hurrah.
and then vinyl, and then CD, this was guaranteed money. And this is what the publishing business was basically based upon.
Yeah.
The performance money was like the maybe money. Maybe you get played, maybe you won't. Maybe you get paid, maybe you won't. So our business has shrunk. I was trying not to use one of them big old words, but exponentially, because the guaranteed money is no longer guaranteed. Because if I'm not mistaken, did you know your last album was only digital?
My last 4 albums were only digital.
Right, so that mechanical license was non-existent. So back in the day when I started in publishing, if we had a new client and they wanted an advance, you would say, all right, so say you're signing to a VP and their initial run is like 1,000.
Right.
So if we say that your if it's going to be 1,000, then we can work out that around about 10% is your mechanical license. So even if the dealer price is what, £10, you're going to earn maybe £1,000. So if you want an advance, okay, I can give you £1,000 as an advance because I know I'm going to get that money back. That's guaranteed money. Now, I have no guarantee.
But the thing is, though, is that artists nowadays, you know, I mean, some do still press CDs, but from my perspective, it's more easy for me to have more of a blanket coverage when it comes to digital. But then with CDs, I can basically press as many CDs as I want and run that as merch. Do you know what I mean? For my gigs then. And sometimes for some artists, they will earn more money through merchandise than they will actually earn for the gig that they're performing at. You know, classic example, you know, to quote one name is like, you know, I remember Queen Africa back a good few years ago. That's what was happening with her. She was selling so much merchandise. She was making more money with the merchandise than the actual shows that she was doing. And it's not just her, it's other artists as well. But I'm just picking a name out of the air at the minute. But yeah, I think that is the reason why for some CDs doesn't even
Makes sense.
Make sense. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so that's the mechanical side.
Yeah.
So on the performance side, so again, we have another problem with the performance side.
Right.
So if you get played on the radio, you would naturally assume that, okay, so they're playing my song on the radio, so I should be earning some royalties. It depends where you get played.
Yeah.
So if you get played on a local independent station, what happens is the PRS come into the radio station. I think it averages out about once a month.
Yeah.
And they take a sample of what you played in whatever 2 days they come in. So if you have a hit, but it's a specialist hit, or it's a hit that doesn't fall into any genre, if they come in the weekend, but your hit is not played, that sample, you don't exist. So you didn't get paid. However, if you're played on the BBC, you get paid per play.
Yeah, that's logged. That has to be logged.
But the other stations have to log as well.
Yeah.
But they only take a sample. But with the BBC, it's paid per play because they've prepaid.
Right.
They have a blanket license which they pay for. So once you pay that, it's a bit like with what Spotify has now.
Yeah.
So Spotify has you have a blanket license. Basically, what they're giving you when you take your subscription is a blanket license to play whatever there is on the system. So that's what the BBC has. They have a blanket license. Whatever you want to play, you play. Just let me know what you played. And then your publisher or you, if you're assigned to PRS Direct, has to go in there and say, right, so I've got this song called Black Bandana. I have 50%. Can you pay me my money, please? That's basically what we do. And
before you go any further, I just want you to let people know, because some people might think, okay, I've heard Lloyd Brown or Bitty McLean or Don Campbell or Peter Hunningale tune play like 50 times on a pirate radio station, let's say. Could you tell the people... I'm serious.
Okay, go on.
Okay, could you tell the people, right, that might listen to pirate stations all over the place, if they were to have heard Sharing the Night 80 times for the day on that radio station, right? Could you tell the people how much I'm to get paid?
Sharing the Night?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Any tune.
Well, it's a pity you pick Sharing the Night.
Oh, it's a cover. Okay. I get where you're coming from. Okay, let's say...
The publisher is talking, isn't it?
Yeah, the publisher is talking. All right. Any one of my original pieces of work, let's say Black Bags.
Okay.
Right? If they were to have heard Black Bags play on a pirate radio station like 100 times for the day, right? How much would I get paid?
That's a bit of a loaded question. The reason I say that is, in essence,
yeah,
zero.
And
0
what?
pence, because they're not licensed. However, some of the quote unquote community stations, as most of us prefer to call them, are now online. And some of those online stations have to pay a license to broadcast online. So something might filter down. However, that sampling I'm talking about, what the PRS then do is they put it against the pop charts.
Right.
To say, oh, Rihanna was played however many times and is in the pop charts, and now Jay-Z and Beyonce and Shania Twain and you name them. So they pay out accordingly to that.
Right.
So unless it's a barber shop or something, because barber shops, restaurants, beauty salons, shopping malls all have to pay a performance license as well.
Right. But I'm not asking that question to diss the pirate radio station, because why I'm mentioning that is because, you know, the pirate radio stations are doing a good job as well, but it's just for the fact that they have to go against the grain of the law to get the music out there to the people anyway. So I don't want people to think that I disrespect the radio stations. I'm not doing that. But I'm just trying to show people in a layman's term, when they think, okay, because they're hearing my tune or anyone else's tune on pirate radio stations for like 80 times of the day, they might think, okay, well, I'm getting royalties, but I'm not getting royalties. That's like the trade-off with pirate radio stations. Is like you trade the royalties that you could get from a commercial licensed radio station for the amount of airplay that will create the attention for promoters or record companies alike, in order for you to get the business, in order for you to get some kind of income from the legal bodies that be. So yeah.
Well, from a publisher's point of view, as a publisher,
yeah,
I don't like those stations. But as a consumer,
yeah,
I love them stations, because if they didn't exist, much of my music ain't getting heard anywhere.
Well, this is it.
So it's a bit of a conflicting one between. So as the DJ, that's Prezedent.
Yeah.
As the publisher in the daytime, that's Kennedy. So Prezedent love our pirate station. Kennedy, nah. That's the daytime, nah. Because I can't eat no food after that. I can't eat no food. And the way that we work, if you don't eat, we don't eat. So the more that I can get you commercial airplay, is the more that we can earn. More plays you can get is the more that we can earn. So one of the things that we do in our company is so another thing that we did with our Back to the Future concept is that as a trained journalist, and that's how I made my name initially, I married the journalist side with the publishing side. So we have a weekly newsletter which we put out. In essence, it's really just like a pointer then. So I collate all the stories that our clients have of a week, and then I point you to the website that the story is coming from. So back in the day, I would have been writing those stories myself.
Right.
But now we doesn't have that kind of time anymore. So we will point you. A couple of times I will still write a story, especially like when I'm trying to say happy birthday to a client. I will ensure that their client page is up to date and then send that out. Another thing that we do, which is what brought me here with the community stations, is we surface music to some of those DJs. So we have a roster of DJs that we send stuff to.
Right.
So it encompasses some community DJs and some stations around the world. And I also do a radio show on a Thursday evening. Oh dear. On a station called 1095 Jams, which goes out of New York, but it spreads all around the world.
Right.
Because, you know, like with cable TV, so you may be on one carrier, but then that carrier is carried by another station in South Africa, and then another station in America, and another station in Japan, or whatever. It's a similar scenario with some of the internet stations. This is why I stipulate about the internet scenario. So our station goes out of New York, but it's also carried in America. It's also carried in Jamaica, other parts of the Caribbean. I think Trinidad, I think Barbados, as well as it's carried over here, again, by some stations I don't even know. So before you realize it, I'm playing the track in my front room, which is my studio. Ooh, it looks familiar. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, familiar concept.
And then before you realize it,
I need to oh shoot.
You're playing to 500,000 people. Ooh. What have you done now, Lloydie?
My battery's going.
Okay, well I guess that's the cue to say goodnight then, isn't it?
Hold on a sec. Many apologies for the jump edit thing because I just did not have enough space on my hard drive. I've just got rid of some stuff, some unnecessary stuff, and I can't have my brethren Kennedy President Mensah leave without bigging up the people he needs to big up right about now on the vlog. I'm hoping that you've just garnered some good information in relation to his life story and his workings as a publisher. So, Prezi, big up the people you need to big up, bless.
First of all, the journalist who interviewed me, thank you for letting me be at me gums. Yeah, thanks. Whatever your name is, forgotten his name, yeah. Fitzy.
Oh, you're out of order. You're out of order, man.
Gotta big up my new assistant, Quee. Thank you very much. Hoping that this is the start of a very fruitful relationship. See what the problem is, yeah? She's not quite as pretty as me, but she have her thing. Did you hear that laugh? She's like, yeah, whatever. Talking of not quite as pretty as me, also we got to big up Izzy Wizzy getting busy. She is the backbone. You take out the backbone, you cannot stand. So we always have to big up Izzy.
The beauty and the brains behind the outfit.
There you go. Also got to big up Mum actually, because from when I was writing, she's the one who turned me into that what's the word I'm looking for? She basically when I started writing and I was doing the column, I used to just dash the newspaper somewhere. She was like, but you can't do that. You have to keep them. So she just stored them in one place. So by the time I was ready to collate them, I had all of my pieces there. So she was the one who made me do that, and she believed in me. Dad, who when he was around, I didn't know that he was checking what I was doing, but then when he would meet people, be like, oh, my son, he's writing for The Voice, you know. And now we're like, my dad said, what? My dad was happy with what? Are you talking about the same person? The rest of the Mensah clan, that we have three more of these lovely people. She's the last born. Yeah, she's the wash belly and all these things. Can't forget about the Back to the Future family, of course. Gotta big up man like Baby Boom.
Rebel World Rebel World.
The Ghetto Rebel.
Rebel World representing.
Yes, he was one of our earliest clients, and he's also one of the people that I can look at and see the growth of the company.
Absolutely.
So when we first met him, he was. I don't think he will be upset for me saying that he was a demo standard artist. Now he's working with some Grammy Award winners. He's guesting on people's albums like Lloyd B and all these things. Also, Shardell, she's a soldier, a Back to the Future soldier from Day Dot. Also, Delhi Ranks is one of our biggest champions. Ansel Collins is another one of our biggest champions. He's basically plugged us into half of the musicians of the reggae industry. So all man like Dougie Bryan, Neville Hines, Ranny Williams, Dean Fraser. These are names that when you look on classic recordings, they're all there.
Oh yeah.
They're all there. So one of the projects that we do is we try to substantiate and confirm their legendary status. So like we did the first one we did was a CD with Ansel Collins doing instrumental interpolations of some of the classics that he played on. So some of those classics would be Black Uhuru, he's got Gregory Isaacs on there, Marcia Griffiths, Culture, Wailing Souls, and of course Dave and Ansel Collins. So we got him to do those interpolations with a view to people understanding that he's as much of a legend as the singers who were in front of the microphone.
Absolutely.
Because that is one thing that we don't do in our industry. So yes, we got to big up all of them man there. Everybody, the whole Back to the Future family, of course. One thing that we always do is when it's one of our clients' birthdays, we always say thank you very much for choosing Back to the Future, because it is a choice. You could go anywhere you want, and our agreements are such that if and when our relationship comes to an end, you leave, you go with your catalogue. Unless, of course, you owe us some money. So yes, thank you very much.
And they say you take it.
No, we can't leave it. I can't leave it on that, can I?
No, you can't.
No. Okay. One thing I will say is one thing that gives me joy. So, about a year ago, another Ansel Collins introduction. He introduced me to this lady who was the widow of one of these classic musicians, and so I'm talking to her about how the thing goes and how we'll be collecting royalties from PPL on behalf of her for her late husband, who was a musician who played on some Roy classics. Did he do some Bob Marley as well? I think he may have had a couple of Bob Marleys as well. But he's one of those names that we're talking reggae. He played on them, like Jimmy Cliff,
right.
Them kind of artists there. So halfway through the conversation, the woman says, "I have to call you back. She broke down because it was like he didn't live to see his remuneration from the works that he put in.
Right.
So when he died, it was like, what? So he played on all these classics and nothing. So the first time she got a royalty check was the one that we sent.
Wow.
And he's been gone a few years now. And he wasn't a young man when he left either.
What was his name?
Bertram McLean.
Bertram McLean.
Yeah, guitarist.
Guitarist, yeah.
Revolutionaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have been playing alongside Ansel Collins and Dougie Bryan.
Right.
Ronnie Williams or Ronnie Bop. Yeah.
Channel 1 staple, man.
Them man there.
Yeah.
Them man there. So yes, that is one of the things that gives me. It makes me know that what I'm doing, number one, it makes sense, and number two, especially like when I go to like a PRS AGM or a PPL AGM, like PRS have this thing whereby if your royalties don't reach a certain threshold, they basically, it doesn't really exist.
Right.
When I go to Jamaica, if I give somebody a $5 or the equivalent of a $5, they thank me.
Yeah.
They thank me. Them royalties, the £5 threshold that you're talking about may not mean nothing here, but in Jamaica, it means a hell of a lot. I'm using £5. I'm being a bit flippant with the £5 analogy, but your thinking is it's not really worth having the argument. But it is so worth the argument. How many of our greats are passing away, and then people have to pass the hat around?
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Yeah.
So if in any scenario we can assist for you not to have to pass the hat around, I'm a happy man.
And on that note, in our combined relative happiness, we've got to leave you. So I want to bring the princess again because it's a proper jump cut and we don't want it to get too sticky, jumpy. So your YouTube channel is what's it called again?
The Real Honesty.
The Real Honesty.
It's 3 Ys. It's not up yet, but soon.
So what are you planning to talk about?
A lot of things. There's a lot of things to talk about. A lot of young things to talk about as well.
Yes. And seeing that she is one of the money makers in your family right about now, right? I think she's got a lot to say.
Well, we're about to find out, I guess.
Right. So let us know when it starts, and I can help promote it in any way possible. But the real honesty right here, the publisher over there, so can talk for Ghana.
Hold on. We can talk for Ghana, Jamaica, and England because we represent the chi.
Anyway, we've got to bounce. He's got to get some lunch. She's got to get some lunch. I've got to get some lunch. And as always, you don't know the coup. What's the coup?
Abstain from foolishness if at all possible.
Couldn't have put it better myself. So until we catch you on the next one, please, people, stay blessed. We're gone. Sorry about that. I've just realised I've only got 3 minutes left on the hard drive. So
Because you chat too much.
you chat too much. But anyway, where can people find you? Where can they link you on social media for further advice into getting the works properly published and properly represented?
Okay, so social media.
Hurry up.
B to that F music. B, the number 2, Delta Alpha, F music. That's on Twitter. On Instagram at PrezyB2F, PREZZY B, the number 2F. On Facebook, Back to the Future Music Limited. The Back to the Future is BACK, number 2, DA Future Music Limited on Facebook. Or the website is backtothefuture.com. BACK, number 2, Delta Alpha, futuremusic.com.
Good. And I want to bring in the Empress again. Come on, darling, come.
You gotta quit. He's been talking so much. He's got no battery left.
No. I haven't been talking. It's this one here. So we would like to say to you, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And as always, you don't know the coup. Abstain from foolishness. So until we catch you on
You
the
know how long I've been trying to say that? Oi.
So until we catch you on the next one, please, people, stay blessed. We're gone.
Peace.